Hi everyone, the guy Matt here, and welcome to College Football Top 25 picks this week based on the playoff polls. Let's get straight into it. Starting off, we got Ohio State and Rutgers. Ohio State, obviously number one team in the country based on the committee, which is deserved if we go off resume, but like obviously some other resumes, like I think LSU has a better resume than some teams in front of them, like Louisville, but that's besides the point. Also, Ole Miss, excuse me, over Penn State is bad, but yeah, we don't want to talk about that too much this week. Obviously, if the playoffs bad when the matters, then we'll talk about it. But Ohio State's the one for now, and they'll get an easy, not easy, yeah, an easy one. Like Rutgers is making a bowl game, which is good for them, but Ohio State's gonna roll past them. Give me the Buckeyes. Next, Mizzou and Georgia. One of a lot of ranked games this weekend. You'll love to see it. Last year, obviously, Missouri gave Georgia the toughest test until the playoff against for the Bulldogs, but that was in Columbia. This one's in Athens between the hedges. Dogs haven't lost at home since October of 2019. October 2019 to South Carolina, I believe, could be September 2019. I apologize. It's a difference of a couple weeks. Could be a tough game. Definitely could be a good game. I think and I hope for because Georgia, had doubts about Brock Bowers last week, doubts against, Kentucky. Georgia smashed Florida and Kentucky, but this week people all load on the dogs, saying, "Oh yeah, Mizzou, yeah." In Athens, no. I think the Tigers will keep it close behind Brady Cook. Eli Drinkwitz last year. Everyone questioned the extension he got at Mizzou. Looks like a good decision by him. He should be getting Coach of the Year consideration, in my opinion, for doing this job. Especially, and if he can pull an upset off, that'll definitely help. Mizzou's still a playoff team if they can beat Georgia in the East. Fortunately, I don't see it happen. I think Carson Beck showed great plays last week against the improved Florida team, which is way better than I expected this year. Um, but I think Georgia does. It's gonna be a close game throughout. But I think Georgia's championship experience, some veterans on a team like Lad McConkey, and Kobe Smart, the head coach, I think's the difference. Give me Georgia to squeak out a close win. Alrighty, Purdue and Michigan up next. Michigan obviously still going to that sign stealing scandal. That's happening with that guy. Stays. I really don't know. Like nothing's gonna happen this year. Like let's be real. Nothing's gonna happen to Michigan this year. All the punishment's gonna be next year, or years beyond. And Harbaugh, Harbaugh's a Vegas type of guy. Wait, just have an opening. Could he leave there? Possibly. I thought, but yeah. Does I mean, like that's all next year. Michigan's, punishments will come down in the off season. But right now, they're the number three team in the nation. But you gotta wonder, like the Big Ten coaches, how much of it is to sign stealing, but Purdue, Michigan's gonna roll easily. Give me Michigan to win. The possible maybe a strap game for FSU looking ahead to next week in Miami against Pitt. But here's one thing: FSU ain't Louisville. FSU ain't losing to Pitt. Jordan Travis, Heisman candidate, Johnny Wilson, and the Knowles. Florida State's back, baby. Give me FSU to beat Pitt quite easily. And up next, we got Washington against USC. SC survived. Both teams survived the scale against the Bay Area teams. Washington and Palo Alto against Stanford, and SC at Berkeley against Cal. This game has shown all of it. I mean, we know Michael Penix put up like five. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if Michael Penix do for over 1,000 yards in this game against USC's defense. Like that would not shock me at all. And obviously, Washington can play a bit of defense, a bit more than USC. I believe that'll be the difference. The Coliseum's gonna be dead. Last time, SC's still reeling after that loss to Utah and Notre Dame. Like Lincoln Riley. Honestly, I think I wouldn't be surprised if USC wanted him out. If like, hey, go to the NFL. Yeah, we don't want you to go. As I know some SC fans who feel that way. Gonna be a shootout. Gonna be a close one, but Washington will be able to score on every possession. SC doesn't. Washington playing just that tad bit of defense that they have is gonna be the difference as Washington beats USC. Next, Cal and Oregon. Man, talk about domination without cheating. Michigan cheats to dominate them. But yeah, talk about that last week of Oregon ending Utah's home winning streak. Bo Nix right film in the Conyers in conversation is I still believe, like Washington's look shaky, but they can afford a league loss, I think, and they can afford the league loss and make it to Vegas. But Oregon I see winning out. If I'm being honest, that's a bit of spoil for my picks. So I see the Ducks cruise this week against Cal as, Washington, Oregon. Oregon. By the way, I honestly feel better about Oregon making Las Vegas in the Pac-12 title and the playoff in Washington of how Washington's looked the past couple weeks against these teams. Give me Oregon to win quite easily. Right, K-State and Texas up next. Obviously, Texas didn't miss a beat. Last week against BYU without Quinn Ewers. From what I hear, he's not gonna go this week again, which spells trouble against some of the more physical teams in the Big 12 in K-State. They had that loss to Missouri earlier this year, which by the way is looking like a great loss. On the road, 60-yard field goal. Like that's just a tough pill to swallow. And Oklahoma State's lost on the road to them too. But Chris Kleinman's groups bounced back with that two quarterback system like Avery Johnson and Will Howard. Nothing against Blake Golfy, but he's a backup QB against this physical Kansas State team. I think Texas can try and ride Jonathan Brooks, but I don't think it'll be enough against this K-State team. I think K-State's going to key in on the run game, going to make the redshirt freshman have to step up, make some throws. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Archie Manning play this game, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised. If Texas is down with the half by 10 or something, Sark might look for a spot and put in Manning. Then obviously if he wins 11, it's go crazy. But if Texas is truly back, they will prove it this week, home against the ranked team that on paper they should beat, but K-State can match the physicality in the trenches. So I'm going to go with the upset here. Kansas State knocks off 7 Texas. Granted, Texas has a backup QB, but still, Texas still ain't back as K-State puts themselves back in the Big 12 title hunt. Give me Kansas State to win in Austin. Up next, LSU and Alabama from Tuscaloosa. Tigers looking to avenge last year's defeat in Death Valley to the Tigers. I like LSU in this one. I was predicting LSU to win national title this year in my preseason video. Yeah, that didn't bad take by me probably. But still, the Tides offense, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors on offense, just too many weapons I think for Alabama. Alabama has the guys like Malachi Mullen, Quaid McKinstry in the secondary to stop him, but you got guys like Harold Perkins on the LSU defense. I just don't think Bama's offense is able to get it done. They exploded in the second half against the Vols last week, but I don't think LSU is gonna make that same mistake, especially seeing it on film. So yeah, I just don't see Alabama's offense getting enough done, as I think LSU's got Malik Neighbors on the outside. That's the difference. Both in trying playing that role, but don't think it's gonna happen. Give me LSU to win in Tuscaloosa. By the way, I don't consider this game an upset. Rivalry game, very close in talent. LSU's better than their record shows. Right, the last Bedlam game for a while. Ooh, and it's in Stillwater. Last time the Pokes hosted the Sooners, Caleb Williams lost in his last game as a Sooner and knocked Big 12 out of the title game. That was I don't know that game. That was a fun game to watch. It had some crazy special teams that one. I hope we can promote the same. By the way, Shane, I get this is a West Coast game, but this should be a night game. Last rivalry game for a while. Night game just feels different. This should be a night game. I'm disappointed in Fox and ESPN/ABC for not making this a night game. I see ABC, Fox. This should either be the big game on Fox and at night, or the Saturday night primetime for college football. That being said, Oklahoma lost to Kansas last week in the backup QB, which isn't a good look for the Sooners and Venables. Gabriel tried to had to do everything, by the way, from what I saw in that game. Some other delay. Pokes, looked. Honestly, I can't have looked pretty good this year. Kansas State, I've been thinking this at Oklahoma State. People are doubting them. They doubted Gundy. That's when he's at his best. When people doubt him coming into a year. Honestly, a great coaching job by one of the longest tenure coaches in college football. And I think that coaching job continues. Week of the upset, I suppose, if we go by ranking. That's right. Last Bedlam game. It's going to be a high emotion, high stakes game. Home field advantage. It's going to be the greatest place in college football this weekend down at Oklahoma State with Boone Pickens. And that is the difference. Oklahoma's going to be viewing after a loss. And Oklahoma State wants to go out on a high note. And as soon as they've been dominated by Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma in the last Bedlam game for a while. Give me the Pokes to win. Next we got Texas A&M and Ole Miss. In my opinion, Penn State deserves to be ranked higher than Ole Miss, but that's just me. But yeah, and I'm, still just like inept a bit still for Texas A&M. Like, can they really do anything? They beat South Carolina last week. Offense got going, but I don't think they're gonna be able to get going enough against Ole Miss. Ole Miss just is more talented all around. Give me Ole Miss to win. Excuse me. Alrighty, up next, Penn State and Maryland. Could be a tough game for my Nittany Lions. Obviously, Penn State struggled last week against Indiana mightily, but Maryland also lost to Northwestern, which gives me confidence for my Lions. Could be tough. I think Maryland has enough to hang, kind of like they did for Ohio State, hang with Penn State for the first half, but I think Maryland has, like, I don't think they have the personnel to keep their quarterback upright against, Penn State's defense. Penn State's defense is the difference in this game. Penn State wins by just like standard win, like wins by about 10. I'll say Penn State, like I always like to say, arm's length win against Maryland. Give me by the Lions to win. But out of second place teams in the ACC, up next, Virginia Tech and Louisville. Former Big East. Well, yeah, they own the Big East at the same time, won't they? Back in the 90s, early 2000s. I wasn't watching college football then, so I apologize if I'm wrong. But yeah, this could be a tough game. Oklahoma State's come out of nowhere all of a sudden. Not Oklahoma State, excuse me. Virginia, well, Oklahoma State kind of, but Virginia Tech's come out of nowhere all of a sudden to be in second in the ACC. But Louisville's gonna be a tough place to play. Obviously, they beat Duke last week pretty handily without Brian Leonard. But being able to score on that Duke defense gives you confidence in the Cardinal and Plummer. Think Virginia Tech can keep it close. I think Virginia Tech might be like kind of a fluky second place, but still give me Louisville to win. Alrighty, up next, Notre Dame and Clemson. Man, how Clemson's fallen. Losing, 4-4, not going 10 games. Dabble's losing it on the fans. Well, some fans, he says, but but like, you can't do that as a coach with a head coach. And like, you talk about wanting it to be like the 90s and stuff. Like, no NIL, no fan support. Like, you're out here acting like a fucking 2-year-old, man. Get your act together, Dabble. And you're like 60 or 50 or something, as I don't know. With that being said, there should also be a night game in my opinion this week. Death Valley at night, but it's gonna be a day game. But still, Clemson's gonna be walking. As Notre Dame plays Sam Hartman as well. He couldn't get the job done at Wake Forest. Can he get it done here at Notre Dame? Ah, fuck it. This is the week of the upset. Give me Clemson to win. I think Dabble. He's gonna have to adapt. Obviously in the offseason and like do NIL and transfer because Clemson has the resources to do that. But Clemson lost last year in South Bend. Hartman couldn't figure out the Clemson issue well at Wake Forest. Why should it be any different now that he's at Notre Dame? I think Clemson is hearing all this negative stuff. I think that will inspire them to do great things. I think Will Shipley will have a good game, and I think Cade Klubnik will have a good game against this Marcus Freeman defense, and maybe show that Clemson can still hang with the big boys. Give me Clemson to win in an upset. Right, Oregon State and Colorado up next. Colorado lost to UCLA last week. Oregon State, obviously, I thought could be a tough game in Tucson against the Arizona Wildcats, and it was. I think Buff's able to keep it close with Dion Lanta's offensive line. Anytime you break into a new offensive line, especially against a physical team like Oregon State, it's gonna be a tough break. I just don't think Colorado has the playmaker. Not the play, excuse me. I don't think Colorado has the offensive line or the defense to do well against the Beavs. I think the Beavs sound the more physical team, more experienced, and that's the difference. It's gonna be Oregon State to win. UConn, Tennessee. Let me keep this simple. BS SEC team playing a bad school in the middle of the season. We all know who's gonna win. Give me Tennessee to win. Arizona State versus Utah. Utes looking to bounce back after that loss last week to Oregon. They bounce back this week. Give me Utah to win easily. UCLA and Arizona up next. Arizona, tough place to play. Finch. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name, but building something down there in Tucson. But tough test facing Chip Kelly and the Bruins this week. I like UCLA in this one. Like I say, Arizona's to be able to keep it close throughout. That true freshman quarterback they got down there is amazing. For Arizona, that freshman could be obviously Dante Moore is good as well for UCLA. But I think, like I said, Arizona keep it close. I think UCLA's defense is going to be the difference, making that inexperienced Arizona QB make some mistakes. Give me UCLA to win. And up next, we got Kansas. Nice to see them ranked again, even though it's almost basketball season. But yeah, Jalen Daniels really come back this week. No clue that's what I've been hearing, for like the past month. But Ames, tough place to play against Iowa State. Matt Campbell's kind of built that group back up in his reputation. But Lance Leipold's building something down there on Kansas. I think so. I like the Jayhawks to win this one. Like Iowa State's gonna keep it close names. I think especially if Jalen Daniels is back, Kansas is gonna be riding high. I think they're gonna ride that momentum to a win. But like Lance Leipold, is he gonna leave Kansas? Big 12 next year can look very winnable. Even if he's besides Utah and like obviously K-State and Oklahoma State to keep it close to Kansas, but will he stay? Will he go for like Michigan State? Maybe a job like maybe an SEC job, like maybe an Arkansas opens up and that's a bit more attractive to him. So that's like the main question for Kansas. Alrighty, up next, Tulane, East Carolina. East Carolina's fallen off a lot last year. They made a bowl game. Tulane's bounced back nicely since the Ole Miss loss. I like Michael Platt and the Green Wave to win. Alright, battle for the Commander-in-Chief trophy. Air Force against Army. Air Force already beat Navy, seems like. And I think Air Force captures the Commanders-in-Chief trophy again. Give me Air Force to win. By the way, yeah, Air Force has played Navy, I believe. If they haven't, I apologize. I think I remember seeing a promo on CBS for it, and I think they've won. If they haven't, I apologize. I think they have. So yeah, give me Air Force to win. And to quickly recap, I like Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, FSU, Washington, Oregon, K-State, LSU, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss, Penn State, Louisville, Clemson, Oregon State, Tennessee, Utah, UCLA, Kansas, Tulane, and Air Force to win. Hope you enjoy. Catch you guys later. Later, guys.